How well do you know your child? Well enough to know if they are traveling down the road to opioid addiction. One mom in Baldwin County had no idea her son was leading a life clouded by opioid addiction until a phone call that shocked her family. We want you to listen closely to Julie Waters because she has some advice for parents, advice she has learned at a very high cost. NBC 15's Darwin Singleton has tonight's reality check.
Jace was a bright child. He did well in school. He loved the outdoors, but he really loved baseball most of all.
Julie Waters of Loxley raised her family in the same community where she was raised, a place where God and family come first, and school, work, and home were daily destinations. Predictable and safe, except that it wasn't.
Jace had some anxiety and depression, and you know, a lot of that was brought on, I think, through me and his family with high expectations.
Julie says when her son Jace graduated from high school, he had a promising sports and academic career waiting for him in college. And when he left home to pursue that dream, she and her husband were confident of his success.
I didn't know anything was going on. I thought he was my bright-haired, wonderful child that was doing great in school and academics until I got a call in college from a young lady that was not happy with him.
And the reason she called was shocking.
She was very bitter that he was not paid for his part of the abortion.
And there was more.
According to her, he was drinking and partying, he was using drugs.
To suddenly learn your son is living a secret life, under the influence of illegal drugs, well, that is a burden many families would not be able to bear. But Julie was about to find out that Jace was not the only member of her family living a life under the influence of opioids.
For the very next morning, Julie and her husband awoke to find drug paraphernalia placed on a kitchen counter, and it was put there by Jace's younger brother.
He just says, "Mom, read the letter." And he had written a letter to me telling me that Jace was not the only one involved in this, but he also, and that he hated what it was doing to his family, and please get him some help.
In the short span of a few hours, Julie had learned that both of her perfect sons were addicted to opioids. She still worries about her youngest son today, but he was lucky. After coming clean to his parents, he entered a group therapy program and came clean from drugs.
He seems to be doing well.
But Jace's story would be very different. Jace got his first taste of opioids when he'd been treated for a sports injury in high school. Soon, drinking and drugs were in control. Jace gradually began to open up to his mother and family about his addiction. He was brought home, received treatment, and seemed to rebound. And when he wanted to return to school in pursuit of a radiology degree, he enrolled closer to home at USA in Mobile. But soon, Julie says, drugs found Jace again. Jace began using and dealing. He was eventually caught and arrested. Jace would pour his heart out to Julie in letters from jail, filled with regret and promises to help others in the same plight.
I appreciate every single thing y'all have done for me since I've been gone. The battle is over, but the war still has a few phases left.
But the battle was not over. Julie well remembers the night she got a call from one of Jace's coworkers in Arizona. Jace was in trouble again, and his health was suffering badly. Julie and her husband put Jace in a hotel while preparing to get him on a bus back to Baldwin County, but he would never make it. Phone calls to the hotel went unanswered. The hotel manager went to the room to find the bathroom door blocked. Police were called.
And when they got back on the phone with my husband, they said, "Sir, your son is dead. It's an apparent overdose." And later we found it was heroin.
Jace Waters was 29 years old.
I asked Julie for advice parents might use to help their own children who might fall into the opioid trap. Here's her thoughts. Communicate. Talk to your child about their day every day, what they're going through, how they feel. Watch for isolation, not wanting to communicate, especially if they're on their phone all the time. And watch for mood changes. Happy-go-lucky one moment, angry the next. And if your child withdraws from the family, not taking part in events or meals, find out why. And one more thing, and it's a big one. Don't put your own expectations on your child. Let them find their own passion, whether it's sports, academics, the arts, or a trade. Julie says she feels they were trying too hard to be the perfect family, and there's no such thing as the perfect family. For Reality Check, I'm Darwin Singleton, NBC 15 News.
Well, Julie says what her son Jace needed, as do most recovering addicts, is a long-term transition facility close to home. So she has created the Jace Waters Foundation. This weekend, they will host a 5 and 10K run to raise funds for such a facility. If you would like to run in the Saturday's Hub City Classic, you need to be at Garrett Park in Robertsdale at 8 o'clock in the morning. We have a link for registration right now on mynbc15.com. Go to the station tab and click Find It. If you have a story that you want us to investigate or an issue that needs to be addressed by our advocacy team, let us know. We're going to get you answers. Call our Reality Check hotline at 877-315-7268.